Ooh, we are live.
Are we though?
Boom, boom, boom.
Should I put the volume on this so we don't get the echo? Probably wise, huh? Are you doing the headset so you can hear noise?
Yeah.
But you still, it still says stream starting soon, Yuri. There we go. Ta-da! Well, obviously it's working because even though it's me talking, it's you because we're the same room.
Yeah.
I forgot there's like that delay anyway.
Put you up on the stage.
Come on, sweetheart. There you go. Right there.
Up on the stage.
Good girl. Good girl. Oh, that's where we get out.
Boom.
Oh, you're gonna put me on the stage. Oh, you can leave me floating. That's kind of cool.
Down here. Yeah, so it's like that.
I don't need to be huge.
You're good. You're good. Now, why aren't we?
Yeah, it seems super delayed.
The chat is not working.
I just heard something come through even though I had knocked the volume down.
I heard it.
Because it's still not.
Alright.
That's my voice, so that was a while ago.
You are hugely delayed.
Yep.
Let me see if I can find our.
Alright, I totally muted it now, so it's not even going to come in now.
See what we can do with this.
Dish right here?
Just right here. Is that it? That's not it. Oh, that is it.
You tell we're a mom and pop operation?
Yeah.
I love all the fan art. So awesome. What is that little one?
I think.
Our aged kitty is in my lap. She turns 19 in July.
There you go.
I love the nudes. Oh, that's gotta be one of my favorite shirts.
Which one?
Send nudes and
Oh.
zoodles. But
Yeah.
you know me, I love puns, so I'm not goofball. What? My lap's not soft enough? You feeling finicky? What? You decide you want more food? Because you're looking at it. You're still mad that I took the water ball out of here, but you kept spilling it, child. You did.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Blue.
Yeah. Especially since this was very impromptu.
Blue joined us for our impromptu.
Yes. You want to catch folks up on the projects you're doing first? Honey, I gotta get the
I had a
notes out.
whole big thing planned with the slimes that I spent all of last year trying to get done, and I was burning through that to get the 1,000 slimes done, and I just never got to the project. Now they were supposed to be my test for movement, and instead I did the potteroos.
I remember with the spinning.
Yeah, and so they were supposed to just kind of like do like a little jiggle, and I was gonna have like a whole jiggling thing. When I started going through the slimes, I started going through, and I just had no connection to like almost 250 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like going, well, these 250 really shouldn't be doing, having them as a part of the, the next, iteration of the project, because I really don't have a connection to them. Or they have no connection to me, depending on how you want to look at it.
Well, I mean, it's the nature of tubing, because you have people who have the seasonal thing, like they can do it more when they're at school or they're more when they're not at school, depending. And then you have the people who, try really, really hard to make it, and then they don't make it, and then they still like try to hang in there, and then they just poof. I mean, there's just so many variations, and you just never know who's going to be around and who's going to vanish.
So that was, a year-old project. That
Hello.
Cinematic, hey, yo, what's going on?
Yeah. Did you say YouTube or did you say Twitch?
I said we were on YouTube, but Streamlabs did something really weird when I was trying to get because I last streamed on Twitch, so I did the fork knife.
Oh yeah.
Stream, and I hadn't used Streamlabs since then. So when I set it up and I clicked it on to YouTube,
it just assumed.
and I was getting everything ready, it just bumped my ass right back to Twitch.
It says no.
And started that up. So I wasn't there very long. But yeah, it was a kind of a starting stream, thing. But we were still getting everything ready. So yeah, we're streaming here on YouTube. YouTube is the YouTube.
Yes, it is.
We are YouTubers on the YouTube.
We're tubers.
We are VTuber YouTubers.
We're tubers. We don't have to be reseeded every year in the garden.
It's not a tuber.
It's not a tuber. So I can't even remember, and I didn't have time to check before we started this, how long it's been since we've done a Two Beans and a Mic.
I think 6 months.
Really?
Time is just basically just flying by.
Stupid nonsense. I've been tied up with local politics garbage that.
Yes.
We did win again, but hopefully this is the last time we have to win so hard. It wastes so much of my time. And
with the job that I have, it's just it literally is just sucking the life out of me.
Well, I mean, it's not an easy job to begin with, but we have discussed this in fact even today because the turnover rate is so ridiculous, and everybody that's left has to carry the load.
Mhm.
So you wind up doing all these extra shifts, which makes it even more draining. And that's partly why we haven't been doing fun things together, and it's also why, with what little free time you've had, you've mostly been just doing art because it's been the most fulfilling for you. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah. And I haven't been streaming the art. I've just been doing the art because I've been kind of in my own zone.
Like I said, it's what's your happy place right now, and you need it. Even though I miss you, even though we're in the same room, and you just completely zone out for hours at a time. So, but tell everybody why Halloween is your favorite holiday.
Well, you know why my favorite.
But it's not my story to tell.
I'll let you tell my story.
No. How about now? Because you're gonna make me talk half the night anyway, and I'm still kind
I
of
like
stuffed
it.
up with the- I know you
Are
do,
you-
but I still have fall allergies even with the meds. So give me a break at least for this.
How do I put Halloween? Oh, you know what I could do at Halloween? So when I was a kid, the reason why Halloween was my favorite holiday is because that was, I thought, the only day out of 365 days
Or
That
6,
you-
depending on the year.
that you were allowed to wear costumes.
Mm.
And I thought that for many years. I thought this was like, like when
One
you saw.
day only special.
Yeah, this was like, it was like the only day. So Halloween was like very, very special to me. It was like sacred.
Mm.
Obviously, I got older and realized like every day could be Halloween. But,
And there's a song that actually says every day is Halloween in it. Yes.
yes. And, and and not even just relegated to, the horror or whatever, the goblin, ghouls,
Genres. Yeah.
idea that like you can just cosplay, getting into cosplay and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, Halloween has always been like that special time for me.
Yeah.
When we were doing, when I had the business, Halloween started in March. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
you had to be ready in March.
Yes. It's like when I try to explain to people when this is related but not. It's holiday related. It's about the Christmas rush. People think that it's going backwards. No, for craft people start doing Halloween stuff in the summer
Mm-hmm.
because some of those projects take so long. So they're already getting like huge shipments of whatever, especially now that there's hardly any actual brick and mortar craft stores anywhere. So it's just gone bananas where, people are getting stuff in, June. June.
Like I said, I was supposed to be ready for Halloween in March of every
Yeah.
year.
But that was also because of the crossover stuff,
Mhm.
because you would have Comic-Con, there were so many other things that were going on.
And you had to be freaking psychic.
Yeah, you had to know what was going to be it for the year. That was always just nuts. So,
It was really bizarro.
yeah. And the funny thing about Halloween in general that I know was hard for you with some of the moves was, there were times where we couldn't even do Halloween because we were so busy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, and then of course there were the times where like we lived in these bizarro places where you didn't even get trick-or-treaters, so you didn't even get to see all the crazy, costumes and stuff with the kids. So, that was a thing. But anyway, alright, so are we gonna talk more about the business side, or are we gonna talk to, since we moved here at Halloween? What do you want to do?
We'll definitely get into the business. We'll get into the business side of
We'll
it.
fall back to it about 1 billion times. Okay. So, we bought the house we're in now in 2017. And that's a story in itself. But we had no idea what we were in for, because even though the place we were renting just happened to be within a 5-minute walk from the house we ultimately bought, we didn't get a lot of kids at the apartment we were renting at the time. And so we had no idea how huge it was going to be when we had our first Halloween. And then the pipe burst on Halloween. And here I am trying to like call plumbers because we have this leaking pipe in our cellar. And we did find somebody who was willing to come that day. So, while we were trying to, get it, figure out what we were going to put the candy on, what we were going to put the candy in, because we really had not had much time to do just about anything. And I'm trying to deal with the making sure the plumbers get the work done as quick as possible. And wow, yeah, that was a heck of a year. And we still had 200 kids that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 200 kids. Thank heavens we had bought extra just in case, because we figured, we can always eat whatever's left.
We always do the just in case.
Yeah, we always do just in case, because nobody wants to shut the light off early, as they say. And the weirdest thing about doing Halloween at the house is our house is up on a slope. And the first year we decided, okay, we're not going to make the kids come up the slope and up the stairs to the front door. So we put the table where all they had to do was come up the stairs. And the stairs did have, they were those precast concrete stairs, if you've ever seen them. They have a pipe for the railings kind of deal. Really dead basic. They make millions of them, and you just buy whatever size you need, and they just dig a hole and put it in, kind of thing. It was put here. There's a lot of the houses that have slopes around here. A lot of them have these things. So the problem was, and this was like the year of the mermaid skirts. Everybody had all these girls, these little, and they're all tiny, like young girls. They all had these mermaid skirts, and we almost had gainers, like just the kids like almost pitching down the stairs because of their tiny little legs and these stupid mermaid skirts, of course, which all go all the way down their ankles. And even with the railing, because the railing was kind of high for some of them, because these were they're the littlest kids. And so we decided after the first year that we were not going to go through that again. We did not want to have to worry about, watching somebody's Halloween get ruined because of those stairs. So we started setting up basically a little coffee table that I've had forever with my grandparents. And we put that at the bottom of the stairs, because there is, a concrete block, because there's no sidewalk on the side of the street. That's another story. And we just put 2 chairs out, and there we were. And it went much better, but we had 300 kids that year. Oh my gosh. And fortunately, we were kind of prepared. Because of the 200, we were just like, we didn't really have any candy left over, so so we did actually get some more. And I'm trying to think, so that was 2017, 2018. I'm trying to remember. You're not feeling it at all. You're making me do all the talking.
I
hate that.
I'm trying to work out something, because I think I have it on subscriber only. But I think the reason why we have it on subscriber only is because so many bots come in and they're not subscribed to me. So
it's one way to weed them out.
It just mitigates the chat.
Why did somebody say something on Blue Sky?
Yeah, somebody said something. Actually, in Discord.
Okay, that's fine. Can they get in now?
They chatted, so.
Oh, okay. So it's somebody who's already said hello. Okay. Anyway, so I think so. We had 200 the first year, and then we had 300 the second year, or might skipping a year.
No, that's how we had it.
Yeah, and we are on the way the blocks are in our neighborhood is we are the short end. We're not perfect square blocks. We have, you know, the short end and, you know, the extra long, especially on the one side, because there's really no more streets for some strange reason on this particular plot until they hit the railroad tracks, and that's not even a street, it's the railroad tracks that breaks things up. So that's, 2017, 2018, 2020 was the pandemic when we didn't have any Halloween because they canceled everything. So 2019, I think, was about the same.
Yeah.
Was that the first year that the blow up dinosaurs, like, everybody had them?
Everybody was running around in inflatables.
Yeah, I think there were a lot more inflatables that year. And then of course we had the pandemic happen, and we were going crazy because they canceled it. You couldn't. Nobody even showed up, like, you know, saying, oh, you know, we didn't hear people in the street or anything, because we kind of did still look. I think we had gotten like a box, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case somebody showed up, so they wouldn't, you know, go home empty-handed kind of thing. So that was the other thing. That one year it was 2018. We had snow. We were out there in, like, layers, remember? Because I wore the Nassau jumpsuit that year because it couldn't fit you if you wore layers underneath it, so I wore it instead. Because we do sometimes dress up when we can because it's fun and we're goofy. But yeah, back when it was still New England cold. But, so the pandemic happened. And then, so that leaves us, 21? Was it canceled again?
21 was canceled as well.
Yeah, so then 22, I think, was kind of the first year back. And we had, did we do McPhee stuff? We did McPhee stuff before the pandemic or after the pandemic?
Before.
Yeah. One of the things that we also had to give out, because of allergies and stuff like that, was we had gotten one of those surprise boxes from the company Archie McPhee that have, like, all kinds of little toys and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's literally called a surprise box because you have no idea what you're going to get in this thing. You could get, like, 12 lobsters and then a million other things, you know, here and there, whatever. And yes, the toys were extremely popular, but I was starting to get kind of, because at that point, stuff about microplastics and whatever, and I was like, you know, there's got to be something else that's fun as an alternative for, you know, kids that can't have sugar or, you know, whatever. So that's when we found out about this thing called Halloween Comics. And there was a company, Halloween Comic Fest, and they had gotten certain labels to make little mini comics that you could give away for Halloween, and most of them were Halloween themed, not all of them. And there was like they had Josie and the Pussycats. They were mostly majors, but there was a couple indies if I remember right. Unfortunately, their site now, this is one of the things I wanted to bemoan. We had done it the one year, and it was a huge hit.
Yep.
I think we only had, a couple of the girls only, you know, aimed at girls comics left at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And I wound up giving them to our local library, you know, for them to just put them out for free for whoever. Which they were delighted about. They were like, wow, we didn't even know these existed. And so I think that was 2022.
Yeah.
No, it had to be 2021.
Yeah, it had to be 2021. Because
the next year, the place we had gotten them from didn't have them, and we had to order them and get them mailed to us.
Yep.
And same thing. Very popular, you know, everybody was so happy. And then last year, you were working. Mm-hmm. And we didn't get as many kids in 2022.
No.
So, like, I'm talking, we had so much candy left over, we dropped it off for that program for the military, where they send stuff to soldiers overseas, kind of thing. So we had all this leftover stuff. And then last year, we didn't do it because you were working and we didn't think we were going to get that many kids. And part of this was because of the short end of the street thing, the way the traffic would move. Because that year, next door to the east didn't put out candy because they had little ones that they wanted to take for the first time, so the whole family went, kind of deal. And across the street from them, the one in the corner, they never used to do candy. The house next to them, the person who did used to do candy had passed away, and that house didn't do candy. The house next to them never do candy because both of them work night shifts. And then the house on the corner, they kind of got some kids because the way the house is situated. But they have like a double lot, so the kids wouldn't necessarily come down the short street to see us because our neighbors to the west weren't doing it, and the house next to that was a multifamily, and nobody, went there either. So we had next to nobody. And this year we now have new neighbors and all this other kind of stuff. So we were talking to the neighbors and saying, okay, so if nothing else, we will have enough lights on and people out to draw, them here. So we're not going to be spending money on whatever and then not, be able to get rid of it and not get to see the costumes and all the, the reasons we do this thing anyway. And so I went back to the Halloween Comic Fest site only to find out they're not doing it. There's no comics. But they do have collectibles, which of course are ridiculously expensive, and there's no way that we're giving those away. And we were so bummed out. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things why are you making me do all the talking? I hate you right now.
I'm just checking on a few things.
Okay, fine. I don't even know if anybody's listening right now.
We got a couple people.
So, what do you call it? I was really bummed out that we couldn't give out the comics. And, because they were reasonably priced. It was a wonderful idea, and it just is such a bummer. But one of the other things that we had given out is when you buy like a bigger box of some of the things, they had these inserts that the kids could color. But there was only one per box. I guess you're supposed to give it to your own kid or whatever. And so there was only a small pile of them because we only had so many from the boxes. And we gave those away. If somebody said, "Ooh, can I have this?" we'd be like, "Yes," and they went very quickly. So I said, well, they were really popular. We're both artists. Why don't we just draw something, scan it into the computer. We have, cardstock. We could just make our own. And of course, because somebody's still wrapped up in 3 projects at the same time, oh, look, it's 10:25, and we still haven't even started. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I might just do something really simple. But that I still want to do it, and we just, you and your schedule and all the overtime still, it's just been so impossible for us to, that was one of my hopes, is that, we might be able to actually hammer out the idea of what the heck we were going to draw on the darn thing.
Well, I was going to do a throwback to the original, speaking about art.
Yeah.
I was going to do a throwback to the original Trick or Treat, which is what started my entire journey digitally.
And obviously everybody knows the story because you're not telling it.
Do you know the story?
I'm tired of talking. It's your turn.
Do you remember?
Do you remember? Oh wait, now we're going to get copyright claimed.
Oh, I know. So back in the day.
Oh my goodness.
When I was just a little tiny, a wee bit streamer.
You are we streamer, Adil, we.
Yeah. Back in the day. Somebody commissioned Fiverr to get a trick or treat picture done
Yeah.
with a bunch of their friends.
Mm-hmm.
I was such a Wii streamer, I wasn't one of those friends.
You're an artist. You're not a streamer.
I was really an outsider.
Mm.
So it was it 2 weeks or 1 week? It was a really short amount of time.
It was less than a month. Let's just say it's less than a month.
Yeah.
That's
It
fair.
was already October. I know it was definitely already October.
Oh, look, that sounds so familiar. Work
Yeah.
under pressure much? All right, go ahead.
And they had 9 figures that they needed to do, and I was still working full time for the post office.
Yeah. Which, of course, it was already, Christmas to them, so it was insane.
Yeah, Halloween time is not the best time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did it. It was my first.
And who found the source art for you to work from?
I don't know who was that person.
I have no idea, but man, they saved your bacon.
They saved my bacon. Yeah, so I got it done. It was the first project.
By source art, I don't mean we stole it from somebody. I mean, like, I found a picture of a porch with kids in costumes with trick-or-treat bags, and he used that just for scale.
So the trick or treat was really fun to do, and from there, that branched out into the queue, which branched out into the Potteroos.
Well, you did, but even before, you did the Halloween, and then you did the Christmas one.
The Christmas, everybody in onesies.
Yeah, everybody in onesies, and then
Yeah, so I went from 9.
yeah, I
don't
remember how
9
many
little
were in the
projects. It
onesies.
was 26.
26. Okay.
And then I dropped back down for New Year's. I did the Pokemon. I did everybody as Pokemon. And I think that was 16. It was either 16 or 17.
You know me in numbers.
I'd have to. I think it's because I think I still count myself as one of the Pokemon because
Okay.
I was going to be doing a model reveal. Then.
Oh, how many of those never happened? Yes.
And of course I got suspended.
Yes, it was that
Twitch
whole nightmare. Yes.
And,
The dark times.
and I never became a platypus. So
Nope.
Boom,
Which was
boom.
your original idea.
that was
For
originally
your-
supposed to be a platypus.
Yes.
Not a little gremlin.
Yes.
The Q-Beam model, the gremlin model, is a smiley face. It's an emoji.
Yeah, literally.
Like people forget that. Like that's. It was supposed to be the T-shirt. Q-Beam was going to be on the T-shirt, like "Have a nice day" and stuff like that. That my platypus character
Yes.
going to wear.
Inception.
And then it was all the emojis and stuff like that were all going to be Q-Beam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this year I was planning on doing another trick or treat picture.
Which is funny because that was a while back. That was.
That was the first thing. It was 3
Yeah.
years ago.
And you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, actually, now almost 4 years ago.
Yeah. I think it was one of the reasons you had the time. Because it
Yeah.
would have been pandemic.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Yeah. So that's about 4 years ago. Yeah, I started at the pandemic. So
Yeah, I know.
started
That's
streaming right, because of the pandemic.
pretty much.
Yeah. Yes.
You lost the thread? What happened?
I did lost.
You just
the,
kind of wound down.
I'm losing winding down.
So anyway, the reason we talked about the Halloween thing specifically is because, like I said, I was like, okay, let's do some art. And here we are now, the night of the 25th. And I don't even have the most basic subject matter from my art partner to
Yay!
get started on.
Yay!
My original idea, I was thinking, was that we could do a two-sided one. So one side would be the easier one for the younger kids, and then the other side would be for whether it's older kids or the parents, because now adult coloring books are a thing. And that's not happening now. Not this year. We're just gonna do one thing. So it's probably gonna be a simpler art piece. Just so the little ones, don't get stressed out because there's 20,000 little things to color. Which some of them might appreciate because they're very, ND. So at this rate, I'll be drawing it all by myself. Which I will not be streaming. And the main reason I won't be streaming is because of our elder kitty. Am I allowed to talk about this, or is this too sad?
What?
That she's old and having trouble?
It's. She might not be with us next year.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay, when we got Lady Sylvie, as we call her, which was not her name when we got her, we had 2 spirit cats that we had just adopted a few months prior. And was it October? I think that's what always surprises me, is that we adopted them. It was either late September or early October, because a lot of shelters won't allow black cats to get adopted in October.
It definitely wasn't October.
So it probably wasn't October. It probably was September then, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think it was November.
No.
I'm so bad at dates, so I don't remember their gotcha day, and I know that makes me worst cat mama ever. I'm okay with that. But anyway, they were what's known at that particular shelter as spirit cats. We found out that one of them had been found as a kitten with bite marks on him, and they had no idea where the rest of the family was, and the other, if we took him home, would be his 4th home in a year. And they said, the first time it was an old lady and she didn't make it, so the cat came back. The second time a family adopted him.
Still as a kitten.
Yeah, still as a kitten. Still a kitten. He came in with a whole litter, I think it was, they said, for Mendelman. And yeah, so came back because his first owner passed away, unfortunately. And then a family came and adopted him, absolutely loved him, and then we're going to move to a different rental and couldn't find a place that would allow them to have a cat. So he came back. And the shelter told us, we don't know what happened with the third family, but they brought him back and he was different. And that's when he became a spirit cat, because he had not been prior, unlike the big guy who was spirit right away because he didn't trust anybody. He was a different kind of spirit cat.
Hand up.
Yeah, he's already got that paw ready to go, doing business. But they had, and the joke was, we kind of had fallen in love with one or the other when we were looking at the pictures, because it was supposed to be, we're just gonna get one, because we had the last of the original batch that I had when we met. So I had them before I even met Q. She had just passed end of summer before this adoption, and originally we were going to wait, and we did wait a bit, but we didn't wait long because we were just too used to having cats. And so we were just like, let's just see how this goes. And of course we also were very aware of the fact that even though we like these 2 cats, they might not get along. And that would be problematic, and then we'd have to pick one or the other. But no joke, we go there, we ask about them, and they take us to one of these, because they have activity room places and things like that. It's not just wall cages there. And there was this carrier on a shelf And they said, oh, they're both in there again. And we were like, both? And they're like, oh yeah, they bonded. So we would actually be willing to do a twofer. Yes, the pun is there. If you take them. And we literally were like cheering like we were at a ball game, okay? I mean, it was like the goofiest thing you ever saw. We were such dorks. And that's what we did. They went home with us that day. We didn't even wait. And then they just weren't warming up. And we were warned that this could happen. You know, that they might never be lap kitties. They might never want scritches. They might never want to play. But I was heartbroken. Because I've had shy cats before. And damaged cats before. Trust me on one case. One case her history was hard. But I just couldn't, I was being impatient. And then I saw this ad. And there's this white cat. And it says, 10-year-old needs a rehome. Long story short, she came, Martin Luther King Jr. that next year, after we got them, early next year, and she never left. We were told she was 10. When I asked for the paperwork from the vet, and she kind of gave this weird hesitant thing, but she did ultimately bring it when because she left her here, went to get her stuff, and came back, you know, the other stuff that wasn't just the carrier, because she's like, this is silly for me to take her home and then, you know, bring her back with all the stuff. We were like, no problem, just leave her. And so she came back with all the stuff, and later when I had a chance to sit down and look at the paperwork, she was 13 and a half. And had already had extensive surgery because she had eaten something. I can't even remember what it was now, but something did not go well in her tummy. And they had to, you know, get it out. And we also found out a few years later, not only was she 13 and a half, but she apparently was from a breeder that did not do things properly because of her hips. Her breed is notorious for having bad hips, especially when it's somebody who's not, you know, breeding properly. And she went from being able to do the walk on her back paws, which her breed is known for, which is the Turkish Angora, in case you're curious, to just literally sassy walking like you could not believe, which she never used to do. And now...
She does sassy walk a lot.
Well, especially now, even with the supplements. But she's now 19 and change. And, you know, it's getting time for the rainbow. And this may be her last Halloween. So that's one of the reasons why I have been busy, because she has been having senior stuff go on that I have to take care of, that is on top of just, you know, usual cat parent stuff. That said, is part of why I've been really super busy, aside from the stupid local politics garbage and trying to remedy the rewilding. They've got a little too wild this year in the yard. We had quite a few invasive species show up this year that I'm just, oh my god. When I keep seeing which neighbors have those species, which were popular and not yet labeled invasive at the time, I just want to murder our neighbors. But, you know, trendy and home beautiful told them to, so, yeah. So I'm looking at you, and you're are literally zoning me out, saying, please just do all the work and I'll take the credit. I already know how this is going.
I've been found out, though. What am I supposed to do?
Sign your name on the bottom. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm here, I swear.
Yeah. So, yes, I've been trying to think of something really simple to do, and I'm probably going to wind up doing something with her and the boys, because 2 black cats, 1 white cat. Yes, it's an Oreo. No, they never sit that way. And people ask me all the time, can't you take a picture of them with her? No, it doesn't work that way. They're not that kind of cooperative. They are cats. They do what they want. So I will probably do something with that. And have her be more of like a ghost kitty, even though that seems kind of foreboding for telling, but it's reality, and I need to be ready for it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I hate the maintenance, but I don't want to let her go either. So, because there's been accidents. There's been some accidents. The whole office got rearranged so there would be less accidents. That was a chore and a half. Oh my gosh. So Halloween is coming.
It is.
And it's I honest to gosh, I really have felt that weight of the winter is coming foreboding because we haven't even started the basics.
How stark.
Yeah, really.
Winter is coming.
Halloween is coming. But that's probably what it's going to be. It's going to be something really, really bloody simple and say la vie. I just wanted to, and who knows? It might not even. The kids may hate it, and we wind up with a stack of them still sitting outside, on the table at the end of the night. But I do try to encourage creatives when I can. And so why not? Why not do it? And worst comes to worst, I can drop them off at the library if there's extras. Because I know they'll take them because they're awesome in the children's department there. So, am I missing something?
I don't know.
I mean, we didn't really have a list of topics for Halloween. Other than just to talk about
Not
how we
really.
love Halloween.
I mean, most people, if you've been watching my morning commute videos, they know that, this has been kind of like a reconstruction year for me. And I haven't
True.
really been streaming as much as I'd like to.
No. And
And
I hate to say it, but, part of it lately has been because Miss Thing has been so much extra work.
yeah,
So, don't grumble, sweetheart. We still love you.
but,
Okay, I just sounded like a granny, and now I feel old. All right.
But yeah, so it's been like a reconstruction year, which is it's definitely, I've definitely figured out there's things that are definitely going to happen, like the morning commute videos.
Yeah.
Those are definitely going to happen.
Yeah, they'll continue because they're somewhat easy for you to do.
Live videos, I'm probably going to either pick a day, once a week, and stream and get into a routine, because that's really where I'm at right now. I've been so out of that routine.
Yeah.
Because I was streaming all the time, almost every day.
Well, you went from streaming all the time when you were in between those two jobs, and then it literally came to a halt because when you did start working at the job you have now, the short staff, problem just was huge.
I've been working a lot of overtime, and that's even getting cut down a little bit as well. But it's
just they go through staff like crazy.
We're getting there.
And as much as he keeps trying to get me to do solo stuff, I did the ephemerals for a while, and they were fun to do, but nobody ever came, and I don't know if it's because I picked a lousy time slot, or what. But I don't have the patience to do the things that you do.
Even really good time slots, and everybody's in there.
Well,
that's
part of the course anyway. Yeah.
And then
because you kept criticizing the fact that I wasn't recording them. I said that's kind of against the point. It's just supposed to be I happen to be playing a casual game that I can stop at any minute and not have to worry about getting murdered, and just hang out with people and talk. Because I still don't want to be a full-time streamer. I have many other interests and things that I'm doing or want to do, because it's hard work. And you have no idea, folks who are here who are doing streaming or trying to do streaming or, just thinking about streaming. I know how hard that stuff is. And it's not my wheelhouse. Despite my theatrical background as far as technical aspects. Not an actress, don't ever. I was a techie. And what, sweetheart? She's fussing now. I don't know why. Do you want food? Is that what you want?
you were the artist.
I was the artist. I did scenic and lighting design, and I rigged and things. I made knots and hung stuff off of ceilings and.
See, when you say you rigged, people are immediately going to think that you rigged models.
I know, that's the funny thing. No, I rig sets. And lights. In fact, I even used to be a union overhire in Yahtzee when we lived in Jersey. In fact, I dragged you there that one time because they were so short-handed.
You did?
Oh gosh. And I was like, I am not the norm even at that time period, which wasn't that far back, but wasn't that recent either. It's still mostly dudes, yes. Almost entirely dudes. And most of them are decent guys. Some of them are like, what'd they bring a chick in for? Some things never change. But, this is the first we really talked about the idea for the actual cards. I mean, do you even like what I just said? Or are you like, oh, I had something completely different in mind?
I have nothing in mind.
I just wanted to do something that was simple and easy, and I had a likelihood of actually finishing it in under a week. That was what my brain was thinking. It is really going to be simple. Super simple. It is not going to be detailed at all.
This year I went from having my wonderful Docky blankets, which is what started pretty much the cornerstone of my merch page, from Stream Elements, and me not really wanting any more, and I picked up Streamlabs only because
You want back?
Stream Elements didn't have sneakers. But when Stream Elements when Stream Elements either was bought by or just
something happened. It doesn't matter.
Turn their product over to Fourth Wall.
Yeah.
I kind of rejected Fourth Wall, and I'm like going, fuck that! I already have that. I'll just let it fall back onto Streamlabs. And Streamlabs didn't have the Docky blankets, and I was kind of just like feeling like very SOL. And originally, when my initial look through of Fourth Wall, and it just could just be because Fourth Wall was not as intuitive.
I'm trying to groom you, sweetie. Stop playing it.
So it might have had the product, but I could not, decipher it.
Ugh, she's mad. Keep talking.
And
distracts her.
And so I was really upset that I lost it.
And then you ultimately wound up going with them anyway.
I went back to them because they asked me like going, hey, you haven't finished setting up your store. What are you doing?
Yeah. Why you do so much work? Sell.
You need to get your store up, because it's your Stream Elements store. And I wrote back to him, and I literally was pretty blunt. I was like going, you don't have the products that I need, I'm looking for blankets and this and these things. And all of a sudden they just sent me this whole big thing. Back going, of course we got blankets. Of course we got this stuff. This is just what you need.
Yeah.
This is just like it was on Stream Elements. And we have more.
Yeah.
And
but wait, there's more.
Yeah, it was literally, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because we were talking about pins, and it really did seem like they had everything.
It took me forever.
Oh yeah.
To get all of because I had to All right. The truth of the matter is that I'm not a normal person.
You think you married me?
I don't just put the picture. I don't just put the picture on the T-shirt and let it show off.
Call it a day, yeah.
I'm like going, oh well, it could go up onto the sleeve, and if it goes up onto the sleeve, we want to have something there. We want to make the print work the way it's supposed to work. It's like it wasn't just like, oh, let's Just fit this in here.
Yeah, let's just put a square on the front with art in it.
And
yeah.
it's completely different. The interface was completely different from Stream Elements to then Streamlabs to now Fourth Wall.
Yeah.
Fourth Wall rejected my store wholesale, and that the reason why and they never told me this, but I'm guessing the reason why they freaking said it is because they couldn't transfer all the stuff over, because I had all these little nitty pitty pictures and little things that I did to make it like you fit together.
Yeah.
And they were not happy with it.
Yeah.
If you really want to know the
Too
truth.
complex. Try again.
And it's taken me, to get all those same products again, I had to like pretty much start over.
Yeah, and that was a lot of work for you. Good grief.
A lot of work that I'm not getting paid for.
Well, and yeah, that's there it is. There's that too. But it wasn't just some simple take my JPEG and send it to them and poof, now I have, it wasn't that easy at all, because you really did have to redo a heck of and I just remember depending on which model was in a picture, sometimes the seams didn't match up.
Right.
Like, there was all kinds of...
That drove me crazy.
Yeah, and that was problematic. And we didn't know if it was just the way that the program was set up, or would the print, the final print of the shirt look like that. I mean, like, there were just all these things that he had to fiddle with that he did not have to do before. So that was time consuming.
Yep.
I still think you should be selling original art too, but you never listen to me. So.
It is kind of original art.
You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons I was against you going digital as much as you've been.
Yeah.
So.
One of the cool things about where Fourth Wall is that if I wanted to do posters or framed work, canvas work, and stuff like that, those all exist.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've been in contact with them is selling my own stuff.
Yeah.
And if I have it, they will sell it. And it can be anything. I can put sensor bars on it and say that this is for 18 plus and and actually sell adult product that I would have to create and make myself. And
it's mostly because of liability. That's one of the reasons it falls out that way. In case whoever buys it is not, in fact, an adult. But even some of the stuff, was it the same company that did the pins, but you had to like pay up front for X pins, and then
there's two types of pins. There's the pins that are just basically like the cheapo buttons.
But everybody used to have the button maker in the 90s. Yeah.
It is literally it literally is the button maker buttons.
Yeah.
The plushy buttons.
Yeah.
That's not those I don't have to do it. They'll make those on the fly, made for order. But they have little enamel pins that are metal pins that I can have them be whatever I want them to be.
But they have to do the.
But I have to make them.
Yeah, because they have to do the dye for it.
Yeah, and I have to purchase. I think it's 250 of them.
That's the minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
There's a few other products like that.
Yeah. But
if I ever publish my novel, I can sell my novel through Fourth Wall.
I have offered, but I am not editing again if you're not going to make the dang changes. Okay, quick story. Somebody wrote a wonderful book.
Hey!
While I was the sole...
I'm a wonderful book.
Yes. While I was the sole breadwinner for a time, it did exist more than once. We have traded back and forth a few times. and this apartment that he still pines for. Well, it wasn't an apartment; it actually was a house. But I was ghostwriting a book that never got finished because the person went back to jail. Yes, I just said jail. And he owned the property. But he was letting us stay there, and then the idea was that if the book did well, eventually the house would be ours. That was kind of the thing. And so while we were there, you were writing this book about another family member who also happened to have fur that has since passed.
Yeah.
And it was a first draft. Now, anybody who actually knows what a real first draft looks like, it is a hot mess.
Super hot mess.
Super. And I had offered to do a one pass, mostly for consistency's sake more than anything. Not worried too much about, word orders or whatever. It was so bad, I didn't even get through, 3 chapters?
No, you did not.
Yeah. It was so bad. And so
And there's only 10 chapters.
So I had done the peripheral editing really quickly, gave it back to them, and then, meanwhile, I'm still in the process of, making videos and stuff like that I'm going to be writing this book for this person's, because I was literally going to be ghostwriting their biography. And then I get a copy back from them. Not a single change was made. Not one. And I literally said, did you print out the wrong copy? And what did you say?
I don't think so.
Exactly. That is exactly what you said. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore until you give my original edits a look and you do whatever you do and then print them out again. And then I will think about this. And guess what? Hasn't happened. I did try, once more since we moved to this house, and I got so upset remembering we had the worst stupid fights about that book. And the story is wonderful. Wonderful. And we had even talked, and it was my idea, I know, and it's probably one of the reasons why that didn't happen. I said, why don't we make this into a comic? A long-form comic. And then we could have the novel and the comic, and people could pick whichever format they preferred. That went nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And part of it was we were moving around a lot, because we went from there to another rental in the same state. Yeah. Then we moved to North Carolina. Then that whole disaster that happened in North Carolina that nobody saw coming. And we tried to stay in North Carolina only because we really had run out of options at that point financially. When the job that was supposed to be there didn't exist. And then we wound up going back to Jersey. But we didn't stay in Jersey. We basically bounced in Jersey, went to New Hampshire. We're in New Hampshire for a while, then went back to Jersey. We're in Jersey. No, am I missing a state? Okay, sorry. So we basically bounced around for I don't even remember how many years. Mm-hmm. And then we finally just never did it. It just became like a thing you don't talk about. I remember that. It was literally the thing you don't talk about.
You do not mention that name.
Yeah, you don't. And it wasn't until we bought the house that it was found again, the original draft, because we were trying to, actually empty the boxes so that I wouldn't get, box phobia because of growing up in a horde. And it's still just waiting.
It's waiting.
It's waiting.
And someday I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I'll get around to it.
Yeah, you already have around to it.
I have around to it, but I think I need another around to it.
Yeah, but we have lived in so many states. I mean, and even before we met each other, we've been to so many states, individually because of different things. Mm-hmm. But, so we do have some of the supplies for Halloween ready.
Yep.
As far as the giveaways, we actually am I allowed to talk about the boo buckets? As dumb as they are.
I love the boo buckets.
Yeah, that's the only reason we have them is because you wanted them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we wound up getting food we never get from Mickey D's because they had the plastic boo buckets, which the kids are supposed to use to collect candy, but we're actually going to put candy in it instead. When we set up the table this year, so
Boo buckets have really changed from when I was a kid.
a lot has changed since we were kids. I mean, come on, how many decades? Really? You
I
expect?
mean, I know I'm a bit bigger than I was
Oh,
back
the
in the day.
scale. Yeah, they do seem.
That
they do
bucket
look
does seem a
smaller.
little bit tinier.
Well, I think I measured it because somebody asked me how big it was from my one.
I remember they used
Discord
to hold
group.
a lot of candy, and now it doesn't seem like they hold as much.
Yeah. But I think it's like 5 inches across, 4 inches high. I think, maybe. Because I did actually measure it. It's somewhere in that neighborhood. But that weird thing where they tried to put the logo in the middle of the handle, that, I know why they did it. And I know they pretty much assume that people are going to try to cut it off or whatever. But maybe it was supposed to help keep the handle shaped, because when it was just that flimsy piece of plastic,
I was always breaking.
it was always breaking.
Yeah.
So I guess they figured the kids can put their fingers through
When I
the.
was a kid, it didn't make it through the Halloween night.
Yeah. So I think that's what they were thinking, is that the kids can put their fingers through under the golden arches and it won't.
No,
Snap
I
the-
remember I could wear it as a helmet on my head,
Yeah.
and I can't wear that as a helmet on my head.
Well, not with the arch in the middle of the.
Even if I took that out, I couldn't wear that thing as a helmet on my head.
All right, we're not going to have a whole discussion about head size.
And I don't think I had a big head when I was a kid too. So
I never wore one on my head, so I can't speak to that.
big old melon on.
Or if I did, I don't remember it. But anyway, so what happened with this year's version of the porch? Is it just not happening now?
So the trick or treat thing.
Art-wise, we're back to the
Okay.
art.
So I did this. Well, because of what was going on with the slimes, and I need to have like a whole series of slimes redrawn and drawn up. I came across the cues. Now on the backs of a lot of the product, I have the cue circles, and it's the 8 circles of cues there. So I was going through them, and the same as the slimes is the same as the cues, is that I just don't even have contact with
Most of them now, yeah.
most of these people after a couple years, and the cues are worse. This was because this is one of the first projects that I did, so
Yeah.
there so many people are gone.
Yeah.
It's like they don't even.
Well, it's like anything else that's entertainment based. You know what I mean? You have the people who try to do it because if this bozo can become a VTuber, anybody could do it. You get that, and then there's the people that unfortunately have bad experiences with it because of audience members. I mean, there's so many reasons why people drop out of it.
And I had a few people who we're not in contact on purpose.
Yeah.
So-
Falling outs. Just call them falling
Yeah, we had
outs.
some falling outs,
So.
which was not that wasn't fun to have to basically almost relive, and I don't want those people on the backs of
Yeah.
my merchandise.
Yeah.
So it's been I got 5 circles done. I got 3 more circles, and they're the biggest circle. The last circle is the biggest of all of them, so it's like I still have 100 more cues to draw.
Yeah.
I mean, literally half of them are gone.
Which is, and in a weird way, I almost wish you had kept it up, because then people could literally see the shift.
Well, I have all the. I didn't delete any of the original art.
But have you posted any of them comparatively?
I do. That's how, especially on Blue Sky.
Well, I know you did the one where you like the people that you took out, so there's all the blank spots. But is the one that has the people still there?
If I updated somebody, because I updated a bunch of people's, Nellowhead is one of the reasons why I even started this whole thing is because Nello went from being a plague doctor to being an actual crow skull. You know, he changed his bottle.
Yeah.
You know, completely. So
Transmorgified.
Transmorgification. He got the transmorgification and on his model. So I was like, I gotta give him, even though I loved the Plague Doctor.
Oh
too,
yeah.
it's fantastic.
I have a plague mask.
Even though I love the Plague Doctor, I feel that it was probably better fitting to make it more match where he's at today. Once I did his, then I started looking at other people's, and 3 years is a long time,
Yeah. And people do update the avatars, so.
And it's a lot of them have changed, so it's almost like a complete revamp of the entire.
Oh yeah. I would agree with
Q
that.
Army. So it's been kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the last things that I wrote after when I put up that the fifth row is done was that I don't give myself challenges that I know that I can complete. I don't consider them challenges. I don't even if I knew that I was going to be able to get it done, I wouldn't even call it a challenge. Like if I was like I can get this done in a week or 2 weeks, this is not a challenge.
Just like the Halloween stuff we're gonna give away to the kids. Yeah,
just like that.
I know. Overtime.
The
So are we doing that then? That we're doing the cats, and I just have to figure out a background.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
So, but once I put up a challenge, hell, this year was supposed to be the music video challenge. And
that you have not had the time for that.
And it has failed. It's not going to happen. I mean, I might have to revisit it sometime later in the future, but it will probably not on the scale that I was doing it at. But a lot of great things came from that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can see my lips are moving right now.
And it's not like it's that whole that weirdo. What do they call that when somebody has an animation but it's really human lips that get superimposed on top of it? It's always so creepy.
Like Creepy Apple or Creepy
yes,
or whatever
yes. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I love the reconstruction year. I think it's great, and then next year we'll have kind of what we're going to be doing. We are going to be doing.
Who's we, Kemosabe?
You're part of all this mess.
I try really hard to be boundary specific where these projects are concerned.
You are sucked in. You're a part of all of this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was the idiot that
To be fair.
To be fair, I was the idiot that came up with the idea for let's just draw our own art to give the kids, and you kind of did the sounds great, hun, and I kind of already heard.
Good luck with that.
This is what my brain heard. Sounds great, hun. I got the pajamas.
I hope you. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I support you 100%.
Yeah. That's like a running joke around here. I don't know if anybody knows that comedy sketch about Taekwon Leap. But
You know what? Somebody else did a boot to the head thing, and it drives me freaking crazy because every time somebody talks about boot to the head, all I can think of is Taekwon Leaps from the Frantics, and nobody knows it at all. It's completely.
It's been erased.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's another boot to the head thing that people are. It goes boot to the head,
Wow.
and one for somebody.
You would think, because Al Yankovic is still so huge, like, there are a lot of people, if they get into Yankovic, they find out about Demento and everybody, you know what I mean, Lair and all of those. It's just, how can you not know the history?
No, and
Ugh. I'm old. Oh no!
we're old.
No!
Maybe I should get myself a hearing aid. Maybe somebody will hear me.
Yep. So, speaking of Halloween prep,
Yeah.
I had thrown out the idea to Mr. I Love Halloween so darn much, but
I love Halloween so very, very much.
oh
Yes.
no, we're not making up a new song today. No.
No singing. No singing. I want
Stop
to sing.
singing! Stop that right now. But we had talked about at least doing the barest minimum of yard decoration. And I said, we have these mannequins.
We do have mannequins.
We could just at least do fake graves with them crawling out of the ground. Like, are we going to do this? Or is this just something we're going to laugh about later and say, we thought we were going to have time to do that? Yeah, there it is. You can't see this, but he's pointing to his nose going, yeah, that's it. We don't have time.
The latter.
Yeah. Because I'm still trying. We have so many vases that showed up this year, and I mean plants. It's been keeping me busy in what little free time I have. So yeah, it's not like it's something I could tackle by myself. And unfortunately, even though I was an art steward locally, everybody else is busy with their own projects. So it's a difficult art problem.
Pretty much.
So there's that.
We don't have to
We don't have no witch.
bore people any more than we have to.
Wait, what?
I said, yeah, we've almost got 2 hours in already, so.
No, you wanted to start at 8. I said 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realized I said it because I was just sitting down to eat at 8. And I said, there's no way we're streaming now. So 1 hour. When you started the stream by accident, you kept it running all that time just so they could look at the "we're gonna start soon" screen? You bastard! Oh my God. Wait, am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I always forget.
You can say whatever you want.
No, don't say that, because I can say it.
You can
I
say.
worked union. I know some
You can say the
colorful words.
motherfuckers. The father muckers.
Oh, I had no idea you were making people wait all that time. You were a jerk. No wonder there's nobody here. They probably came in and said, "What the hell? Fuck this! I'm going home. I got better things to do."
Hey, 3 people came in. I think most of them are still here.
So you saw the whole list. So
Yeah.
well, we haven't done one of these in forever, and of course we didn't, exactly warn people it was coming.
Yeah, the most I have is
Samhain
3
is
at the
coming.
same.
What
3 at the same time. That's the most I've done.
tonight?
Yeah.
But
And the only sad thing about
well, we're trying to get back into it.
the only sad thing about
Your nose is cold, bub.
YouTube, as opposed to doing it on Twitch, is that I can't do the raid. Which is
Yeah,
kinda
that's
sad.
kind of a bummer. But it's a choice.
Yeah, but I.
Yes, honey. Yes, Mama loves you.
So why YouTube? If anybody's ever wondering why YouTube, the reason that I pick YouTube over Twitch always is because YouTube is where I started. This is where my whole streaming journey began. It's all with YouTube. It's not with Twitch.
Well, your original YouTube channel was before Twitch even existed.
Right. Years before Twitch existed.
Yeah.
And I've, just kind of always had this fondness.
Well, plus just trying to keep the schedule consistent has been so hard.
And I've never really wanted to be a VTuber.
Well, there's VTubing, then there's VTubing. I mean, there's a huge gap between what it can be and what it could be.
And the thing I love about being a VTuber is that it's mine. I don't do it the way other people do their models and run their things. I don't do any of the things. It's all just me. And I don't depend on anybody for the creation.
Somebody is funny because I thought of you today when I was on Piggy on Blue Sky, and somebody had posted. It was a scold. It really was. It was a scold because apparently people are starting that stupid nonsense again about how you shouldn't tell people how to present themselves. You know, doesn't matter whether you're a PNGer or a Facetube, whatever. Just do your thing.
Right.
Like it's one of those things where the term VTuber used to mean something very specific, but it has become broader in use. And I understand how some people still wanted to stay that niche thing, but sometimes language grows and we can't control it. So just adapt or die, I guess, is what I'm going to say. But it was something that I definitely identified with because, it was one. Remember when people were trying to get it to, they wanted me to be the face because I was the female and all that other stuff. And I was just like, this is not... I am a goofball, and I am not going to be cute and sexy and all that other stuff that people tend to expect from,
I like it though.
Femme presenting. Well, you do. I mean, it's why you married me, fool. But I mean, like, it's not what people expect from femme presenting, personas. And I am not that giggle bounce person ever.
Giggle bounce. I think I'm the giggle bounce
person.
I'm a giggle bounce person.
I am definitely sliding into curmudgeonville way faster than you. And I also...
That is weird, too. Because I always thought it was going to be me.
Well, I mean, there's definitely things that you are getting a little set in ways about. But because I deal with more community stuff, I dig in a little heavier. I think is why I see myself that way. And although I have and do enjoy from time to time, cosplay and costumes, all that kind of stuff, I don't want to be on all the time. My brain finds that exhausting. And that's why when we had talked about this and people were trying to push me into more than just hanging out, I just said, I'm a sidekick, period. Full stop. Because for me, it's less work. My brain can just enjoy the moment, and I still mess up sometimes.
Car.
Yeah.
Sidekick.
Yeah. But I just find it less stressful because there's other things that I do that you find so ridiculously stressful that to me is a breeze.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot.
I feel that being a sidekick plays to my strengths in this particular genre. I think is probably the best way to say it. Form, media, whatever.
Or media.
Form with an M, not Ford like a car. Or Ford like a stream.
Form, media.
Yes. So Halloween, it's 6 days away. 6 days away.
6 days a week.
I have so much drawing to do.
Yeah, there is definitely that.
Well, that's why I'm just trying to simplify the heck out of it. And I'll probably do something super lame, like put a bat in it, and a moon, and a pumpkin, and call it a day. So, maybe a gourd. Maybe I'll put some other gourds just to be fun. The kind that are all, like, green and little blisters all over them. I know what they're called, too, and I can't think of it. Maybe some acorn squash. Hey, maybe I'll put some natives in it. Heaven forbid I put native plants for our state in a Halloween coloring card. So
I thought it was kind of funny when somebody said that I have the chat set for subscribers only. And because I'm so Twitch centered.
Right?
Like a subscriber means that somebody paid $5 and
Oh no, it's YouTube. You just click a button.
yeah, you just click a button. But I'm like, my brain was like, oh no, we gotta fix this. I gotta turn the subscriber thing off. Oh, so wait a second here.
But it is true that the bots swarm the live streams.
They do.
And I don't
Yeah.
want to waste time and brain capacity because this is supposed to be relaxing. 2 beans and a mic. It's not supposed to be,
I mean, if you
heavily
hear it,
moderated.
as much as I'd like to keep you as a subscriber, but if you really want to chat, you can subscribe and unsubscribe, while I'm here. But there is not. I don't have a time limit on it, but it really is just to keep the bots at bay.
Yeah, and maybe you should probably post that in your bio on YouTube so people know. I don't know how many people really look at bios. I'm probably one of the only weirdos who actually checks bios. But, and you know what? It probably, because I think that you could do, even when it's live, you could do a description about that, right? There's a
Yeah.
message. So yeah. But thank you everybody for just dropping by then. So I guess are we wrapping or?
I think we can wrap it if you want.
You're the one who was talking about we've been doing this for 2 hours. And
Wrapping it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
With unlimited foil. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally just gonna go back to drawing.
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
gotta-
probably.
I
gonna
gotta get
what
them
tea,
done.
or at least heat up
let
what
me-
tea I have left.
Let me look at what I got here.
Are you actually gonna share your screen? Or are you gonna hold them in suspense?
I hold you all in suspense.
You're going to leave them in tissa tissa tissa.
Say it.
No.
Patient.
Ah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's about 100 cues left to draw.
This is supposed to be done for Halloween?
Well, this year.
Oh, wait, what? Weren't you supposed to do another Halloween porch project?
All right.
Because I'm still confused.
I know we were having deja vu here.
I definitely am.
Because we just discussed this.
Yes, we did. And you know what you said? Oh no, that's the circle thing.
That's what I've been doing instead.
Instead, that's the word I miss. Now I understand. We're good.
So
We're good.
when I was a kid,
Everybody go back to what you were doing.
just so everybody
Situation
knows,
normal.
just so you know, when I was a kid, I used to think that Halloween was the only day that you can get dressed up in costume.
Did I think it?
Yeah, I think it. I'm still like worried that nobody could hear us. I'm like going, they could hear us,
Well, that's
right?
why I said shouldn't I put headphones on and then so I could just hear if it's coming through the headphones rather than have the hard echo delay through my speakers. And you were like, nah, it'll be fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Situation normal.
Okay, now because we're so bad at promoting ourselves, when are we doing our next Two Beans and a Mic?
Hopefully before Thanksgiving.
All right, I'm gonna pull out. Heaven forbid.
Either
I'm
than that,
going-
it's going to be
I'm going
a
to
very
pull
merry
out-
two bean and Thanksgiving.
I'm going to pull out a calendar. All right, we could do. I mean, okay, we shouldn't do a Day of the Dead, but we could do.
Yeah, it says movie. Okay.
Yeah, we could do a day after Halloween follow-up.
Okay.
And then talk about what happened and whether we had 300 kids or whether we had nobody and whether anybody took whether we finished the pictures, whether any of the kids took the pictures, whether we colored in any of the pictures.
What do you? I think we should do that.
Would you? I mean, if you think a recap is just kind of so second season Prada shoes, we don't have to.
I think we should do two beans in second season Prada shoes.
That expression isn't trademarked, right? We're okay.
I think we could still use it.
Okay, that's all right. I'm writing
If we
this
could
down.
if we could say the word Prada, we could use it. Just
All
like just like if I said the word McDonald's.
Okay, so 2.
McDonald's, you owe me $5.
All right, wait, no, that's today. So we did 2 beans and what's this called? And Halloween prep. Okay, and Halloween prep because I gotta start keeping track again so I don't get confused. All right, so Friday the 1st, which is going to be a new moon.
New moon.
Okay, we're
New
gonna
moon,
do
everybody.
2 beans and a follow-up. No, you really want to do 2 beans and second season Prada shoes. You said you want.
Yes.
Okay, 2 beans and second.
Season Prada shoes.
Oh my god.
Because we're stupid.
No, we're goofy. Stupid. All right. Yes, there are things that both you and I are fairly ignorant of, and in those things, yes, we are stupid. But we're definitely goofier than stupider. All right.
And thank
then,
you for everybody who's subscribed. I really appreciate it. That's what I do this. That's what I do this for. I mean.
Well, it's just it's community. The original reason you started doing stuff on YouTube was because you wanted to find artistic community.
Yeah. And
because we've moved so much, it's been really hard for us to find local community. And I do believe that that's one of the reasons why, so many, like, with social medias and everything else, it's become, yes, it's the cyber community, and do you really know these people, and have you ever met them in meet space, and blah, 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 but it's still a community.
I haven't met you yet, but you're my family.
You're the family we just haven't met.
You're
in
the
meet space
family
yet.
that I choose.
Yeah, because I'm looking.
Not the family I was born with.
Yeah, because because we'll still have 2 more Fridays if we stick to Fridays.
And I know I say this a lot.
Wow, I didn't realize Turkey Day is the last week this year.
So yeah, it's like almost the last day of the month.
Practically, yeah. So we'll actually have quite a few. Now I want to go to this thing, but we're not going to stream then. For anybody watching this later, if you like this kind of content, but there's a different day or time that is more accessible as far as, well, Thursday, Fridays is really the easiest time for us to plan around still,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so if you have like a different time span, please give it to us and let us know which time zone you're talking about so we know. Because we're just shooting from the hip at this point with, when we have time, we do it, and we are eventually going to have a schedule, but we just don't know when yet.
And I still have plenty of space. So if you, YouTube has the priority over every other social media that I have. You guys are my number 1. So if you want to queue and be part of the Q Circle, which is going on pretty much all my merchandise, it's going to be a big part of it. I would love to have you there. So if you want to get on it, send me a reference and I will turn you into a queue.
That has not changed.
That has not changed. Still doing it. Yep. I will eventually, I have more than enough to do it with, so I will eventually run out of. But right now I have plenty.
I'm having one of those moments where, like, civilization ends and somehow some of the records of your queues survive and whatever intelligence is coming.
The queues will live on
The Q
forever.
cult. There was a cult called Q's. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna. Alright. So what? Thank you and have fun doing what you're doing and
I wish we could raid somebody.
yeah. Yeah, that is the only thing that I miss is getting raided and raiding people, and it's sad. It's capitalism.
It's sad that it's Twitch that sets that up, but
Yeah, don't rub against the mic, sweetie. She's like, what about me?
She's doing ASMR on our mic.
Yeah.
You can go forward, little one. Move past it.
There's still food in your dish right there. Okay. Try not to get the food on my calendar. Oh, you don't want that food? You want fresh
But yeah,
food?
this is a wonderful time. The reconstruction, I'm so very happy.
Did you ever add Blue Sky
Okay.
to your YouTube profile so people know how to
It
find
is.
you? Okay,
It
good.
is
Just
there.
making sure because you forget these things.
Blue Sky,
sometimes.
Blue Sky. Meet me on Blue Sky. I am definitely I definitely have already taken a step away from
The former place.
that place. You know, and exactly, and it definitely, you know, I'm definitely making a home on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is where I'm going to be
As long as
doing
Blue
most of
Sky
my
is
stuff.
around. And it's going strong.
I'm very happy with it. It is what the other place
Used to be.
was, and
And if I see one more post of somebody going, "Wow, it really is like it," yes, we've been telling you for months. There you go. There you go.
yeah,
There you go.
they do have a little bit. They do have a little bit of stricter things going on, you know, as far as how it's run and stuff like that. But that's only
It's-
because of what was going on.
Yeah,
on
at the other
Twitter.
place. And the other thing too is you have control. It's not one of these scenarios where you can block people, but then the owner's going to say, we're gonna mess with this because it's not helping our bottom line. And people are so helpful still, even now. You know, with the feeds and all the other stuff. I mean, it's just, and we're not getting paid. Just so you know,
I think they
we
miss
really like
doing-
it. We're happy.
I think they just miss doing it, like being a part of that
Camaraderie.
community as a whole.
Yeah. And it's still growing. They're still building things into it. We just started having videos and things like that. And use alt text, please. Please.
Okay.
Sorry, that's my one thing that drives me crazy about people forgetting.
We are going to end this.
Oh, great! You're gonna end on me becoming a loon. Great.
Figgy is a loon, everybody. I'll blink twice.
Are you in danger?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Thank you so much for hanging out or listening later.
Yeah, this is gonna be up. This is gonna be up. It's gonna be a permanent video. So, and I love it, and we're gonna do more of these. So, come join us.
Hopefully a little bit more organized,
we
but
will.
yeah.
Oh, this is right on the money for like how I even run my morning commutes. I get into the morning commute and I'm like going, yeah, I got a lot of things I want to talk about. I don't talk about any of them.
Yeah. The best laid plans.
But you guys take care. Have a wonderful night. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it.
Yes.
All right?
Thanks for joining us.